and welcome to week 2 of Mrs Patnell's phonics lessons. Okay, so you all did some beautiful work last week and I saw some fantastic stuff that you put on tapestry for me, which is fantastic. 2-syllable word writing, sentence writing, knowing all your flashcards. Fantastic stuff, guys. I'm really impressed with you. So this week we're going to start again with our flashcards. We're also going to do a little bit of looking at words that have a consonant sound, which is any sound that isn't a, I, e, o, or a. Okay, then a vowel sound, which is the a, I, o, or a sound, followed by 2 more consonants. Okay, sometimes it's hard to hear when those 2 consonant sounds are so close together. So I'm going to write a word where the end consonant isn't there, and then add it on to make life easier for you to blend and read those. We're going to do a little bit of buried treasure as well, looking at real words and nonsense words, and we're going to do a bit of sentence reading. Okay, so I'm going to go through the flashcards. I'll go a bit quicker than I did last week. Feel free to keep pressing pause on the video if you're not sure of one, okay? But I'll go a little quicker so we can speed on through. Okay, our first one. The short sound and the long sound. Ooh. Yeah. Like a mixer. Or yeah. Trigraph. Air. Ear, I'm going to pull it out of my ear. Oi, ship ahoy, oi. Ow, show me a frown, ow. This one's like the in church, so do your church over your head and say Floppy donkey ears and say or. Going to the doctors, Oh, and not one of our favourites in class. Oh. Another trigraph. I. Tall donkey ears. E. A. The soft one with your tongue poking right out. The slightly loud one with your tongue pokes in just a little bit. The. Chicken. Qua. Even though there's 2 of them, still z. On its own. Z. X. Remember, it's like a curly curve, followed closely by a sound. J. Shh. Okay, that's all our phase 3 digraphs, trigraphs and single sounds. Let's put those to one side. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at writing some sounds that we visited before, but we want to make sure they stay in our memory, okay? And the first one I want you to have a practice at writing is the digraph O. Remember I said it was our least favourite probably in class. 2 letters making 1 sound, the O sound. Can you remember how to write O? Have a go on your boards now. Pause the video if you need to, but then I'm going to help you on my board here. Okay, so 2 letters making 1 sound O. You need to start with a cursive O. Remember we write cursive in our class. If you're watching this video and you're not from my class, then you can write it how you normally would write the letter O. Okay, but we cursively write it like this, and then followed by an A next to it. And that is our O sound, okay? Right, next up, I want us to revisit... Oh, I lost my wiper tissue, hold on. I want us to revisit the digraph ch for chicken. Not a tricky one at all. I think you can probably remember those 2 sounds in ch. Pause the video if you're really struggling to remember and want to think about it yourself. But I'm going to have a go at doing it with you now. Okay, so ch, a digraph, 2 letters making 1 sound. It starts off with a curly K. So I'm going to whoosh up and round with my curly K. And after the curly K, to make the ch sound, I'm going to cursively whoosh up tall, much taller than the curly K. back down, up halfway with an arch and a little foot flick to finish. And that is our ch digraph. Okay? And the last one we're going to practice writing today is going to be the R sound. So you're going to the doctor's and you're making the R sound when he looks down your throat. 2 letters making 1 sound. Pause the video if you want to have a good go at it. But the R sound is an A. So start like a curly cur. Go up the side though, down and flick for your A. And then after that is the R. So up tall, as tall as your A. Back down, back up again, over and a little hook to finish when you're doing the cursive one. So that's the R sound, okay, R. Okay, that's all of the ones that we are revisiting writing today, okay. So we're going to move on now to look at writing words that have, as I said before, 2 consonant sounds at the end that are so close together you almost can't quite hear them. They're a little hard to segment when you're trying to spell them, okay? Reading is not so tricky, but when you're trying to spell them, it can be very tricky because they're so close to one another. They almost sound like their own digraph sound, but they are separate sounds just really close together. So I'm going to show you what I mean by this. So first of all, I'm going to write on my board 3 letter sounds making a sensible word here. Okay, so if I show you this one, I have wrote 3 sounds which I'm marking by my 3 sound buttons underneath, okay? If I use my phone in flicky fingers, I have got t, e, n, t, e, n, t, e, n, 10. I've got 10. Think about that 10 in your head because I'm going to add a 4th sound now on the end here, okay, next to my other consonant letter here, okay, remember that's what we call every letter that is an A, I, E, O, O, okay. I've added my extra sound button here, so we've still got the 3 sounds we had before, t, e, n, but now I've got another one, another sound on the end. I've got another t. Okay, so I've got to blend these with these 2 really close together. They almost sound like they're sitting on top of each other. So they're sometimes hard to hear when you're trying to segment to spell. But we've got t, e, n, t, t, e, n, t. Sounds like an nt sound at the end. It is an nt sound, but it's not one sound. It is 2 letters really close, and you can see them both here. So t, e, n, t, t, ent, tent. So my 10 has now become tent with that extra consonant letter on the end there, okay, the t. Right, let's try that with another one. Get my trusty tissue here again. And I'm going to start with 3 sounds to make it easier, and then I'm going to add another one on the end. So we're going to go with a nice tall B. Remember, it's the bat first, and then the round ball. Then an E. Then an N. Okay, so we're going to look at these 3 sounds and blend these, and then I'm going to add a 4th one on the end. So we've got B, E, N, B, E, N, Ben, Ben. There we are. But what about if I add a 4th sound? I'm going to do a D on the end, okay, like a curly cuff. Still got my sound button there from before. Let's just black it in a bit more. So I've got 4 sounds. I've still got my B, E, N, B, N, but now I've got another consonant sound on the end, a D. B, E, N, D, B, E, N, D. Bend, bend, but the nd almost sounds like a sound of its own, like a digraph, but it's not. It's 2 separate sounds really close together, so sometimes it's hard to hear them when you're trying to spell. But b-e-nd, bend, okay? Let's try another one of those together. I'm going to start with 3 letter sounds and then add a 4th, just so we can see how that works. So I'm going to go with this sound on the beginning. I keep telling you what the sounds are before you've had a chance to look at them. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3 sounds here, marked with my sound buttons underneath. I've got D, then I've got A, then I've got D-am, dam, okay, something you might build to hold back water, dam, but then I'm going to add a 4th letter here, a 4th sound to consider when I'm reading this now, okay? So I've still got my d-a-m, dam, But on the end, I've now got a damp, damp, damp. It's now become damp. It's always a bit moist. Maybe it's been left outside and it's got a bit wet. It's damp. Okay, so that sounds like an sound on the end, but that's not a digraph. That's just really close together, making an sound. So damp. Okay, you can have a practice at home with your adults if you want, thinking of some words that have two very close consonant sounds at the end, and then you guys can have a think about how to spell them. Okay, because that's where it really gets tricky, is trying to segment them to spell them with those sounds very close together. Right, we're going to move on now and have a little go of buried treasure. Okay, so I'm going to put my pot here. I don't know if this can be seen on the camera here on the edge of the table. My trusty camera lady is just going to check for me. Okay, so on this side I have my treasure words. My words that we normally put our thumbs up to because they're real words, okay? On this side I've got my dustbin and it says fake words. Words that are nonsense, okay? You blend them to read them, but then you realise they're probably not real words, so they're going to go into the dustbin. So you can feel free to call out to the video that you're watching on your screen and then I will put it in the right place, okay? And then you can see if you were right. So the most important part about it though is that we are reading the words. Finding out if they're real or rubbish is just a second bit of fun on the end. So it's really the reading of the sounds and checking we know all our sounds, okay? So these sounds do have two consonants on the end of them, okay? So it's practicing learning what we just did with those sounds really close together. I'm going to pop my first one I just got out back in because we just wrote that one. I want to give you a little while before you look at that one. It's a bit too soon. Okay. So I have my first one here. I'm going to add the sound buttons to give you a hand, okay? So this is my first one. And I'm going to put my 1, 2, 3, 4 sound buttons on this coin, okay? I've got a little spare one behind it. Let's hold that for next time. Okay, so with my 4 sounds, I've got ooh, and last one. So it's that sound like we just had in damp. Lump. A lump. So, lump. Does that sound like a real word or a rubbish word, a nonsense word, lump? Yes, lump is a real word, so that would go on my treasure chest, just there, okay? And my next word, I'm going to put sound buttons on my next word. It has 4 sounds again with 2 really close consonant sounds at the end, okay? So remember to try and get the sound that they make together. So the first sound is t. Second one, e. Third one, n. We can practice reading those 3 sounds and then add the 4th one on the end if you like. So t, e, n, t, n, ten. And then on the end, tent. That's the first one we practiced right at the end of the lesson. Tent. Real or nonsense? Tent. Absolutely, it's a real word. Wouldn't fancy staying in one right now, but that is a tent. It is a real word. Okay, let's go for this coin next. 4 sounds again. 2 sounds very close together at the end. I'm going to add my sound buttons. My pen's not working very well. So, first sound. Second sound, e. Third sound, n. Let's work that out first and then add the 4th one on, shall we? So, n, men, and then the 4th sound, d. Mend, mend, mend. Real or nonsense word, mend? It's a real word, yes. You might have to mend a hole in your sock, so I'm going to put that on the side of the treasure chest. Okay, here's my next one. I'm going to add my 4 sound buttons to my word. Let's do the first 3 and then add the 4th one on at the end, shall we again? So first sound is b. Second sound, e. Third sound, n. B, e, n. B, e, n. Ben, you might be recognising this from earlier. Ben, and then the 4th sound, d. Bend, bend, bend. Real or nonsense? Bend, you might bend something in half, okay? You might bend over, That is a real word. We've got all real words at the moment, haven't we? Okay, let's try this one. 4 sounds again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try the first 3 sounds, blend them together, and then tackle the 4th, shall we? So first one is second one, third one, hen, and then add the 4th sound, hent. Real or nonsense? Hent. Well, I have never heard of a hent, so I'm going to put hent over here in the dustbin. It is a nonsense word, is hent. Okay, so that is our buried treasure for today. Feel free to make some words of your own if you want to. And if you go on to Twinkle, which is free at the moment, I just sent you that email to let you know you can log on for a month for free. You can get these kind of resources off of there to play buried treasure, and you can make up your own words to go in there, okay? To finish off this lesson today, we're going to have a go at reading some sentences. Okay, these words will have words in with 2 consonant sounds very close together at the end, so we've got to think about reading those. I'm going to bring this one over first, and I'm going to prop it up here. Okay, so my first word has 4 sounds, but these 2 are very close together. Okay, so we've got a capital letter to start my sentence, as we always would do, and we've got a capital I, U, K, ilk, milk, milk. One of our common exception words. Okay, this is making more of a sort of z sound than a sound, so is. Milk is. Now we've got 3 sounds here. We've got a little digraph in the middle, okay? So hopefully you can remember what that digraph is. So first sound, g. Digraph, last sound, d. Good. Good. Milk is good. 2 sounds here. It's our cursive. So if you don't do cursive, you might think, what is that? But that is our cursive. It looks tricky, but we're all very good at writing them. So, and then a digraph, or, for. Milk is good for. A couple of digraphs in this one. First sound, t. Digraph in the middle, e. And last digraph, t-e. Teeth. Milk is good for teeth. We know this one. And our last word, 4 separate sounds. G, a, ms, gums. Milk is good for teeth and gums. What is this on the end of my sentence to say I've finished? It's my full stop. Notice these lovely finger spaces between each word. So if you're going to have a go at writing this sentence yourself at home, don't forget capital letters, finger spaces, and a lovely full stop at the end. Okay, so that's that sentence. Let's have a go at reading these 2 as well. Now, by all means, pause the screen if you want to have a real crack at doing it by yourself, but I'm going to go for it now with you, okay? So, capital letter to start my sentence. When it's by itself, we don't say at, we say a, okay? So that's one of your keywords, a. And we know this one. We've worked on this a couple of times already this lesson. Tent. A tent. What? And then a digraph. Ooh. What ill. Will. A tent will. 3 sounds. Get. A tent will get. So we got 4 sounds here with these 2 very close together. We've worked on this word already. Damp. A tent will get damp in good old rain. A tent will get damp in the rain. Full stop. It's true, it will do. Okay, Okay, this one has some interesting punctuation on this sentence. So we have got capital letter to start our sentence. Oop. All and p are so close together, they're making an oop sound, but they are separate, all and p, just very close together, okay? Oop. Help! Help! Exclamation mark there, because you've got to say it a bit excited or like this, or a bit frightened. Help! Another capital letter, because this exclamation mark means the end of that particular sentence, okay? That's finished. So now I'm going to start a new one here. It needs a capital letter. Help! I got a. Now we've got 4 sounds here with the last 2 consonants very close together. P. Bump. I read those 4 together because I didn't want to do the first 3 first. It could be a bit cheeky. So bump. Help! I got a bump on the, get on there, leg. Help! I got a bump on the leg. Full stop. Excellent reading today, guys. Feel free, as I say, to get your adults to repeat these sentences back to you while you have a go at writing them yourself in your pink books or on a piece of paper. And I will see you tomorrow for another phonics lesson.